The Royal Brothers and Ricci sisters are back and better than ever, baby. Karlos Royal is as savage as before, still running Louisiana with an iron fist. His love for Kylee grows every day, thanks to nearly losing her after cheating with his ex, Zena. All is forgiven, and Kylee and Karlos are married with a baby on the way. But as fate will have it, someone resurfaces with high hopes of ruining their marriage. Kimmora and Kevin are also married with a beautiful baby boy named Keion. Kimmora has opened new chapters in her life, such as becoming a wife, mother, and registered nurse. Things are looking up for Kevin too, as he's running his thriving barbershop and working hard at being the best husband and father that he can be. All is well with the couple. That is until skeletons fall out of the closet, putting their marriage in jeopardy. Twins Kira and Kelly are doing good in every area in their lives, personal, financial, and career wise. They have it all figured out. Their men, Caitlin and Calvin, treat them like the queens that they are, but limits are tested and lines are crossed. Both couples are forced to fight not just each other, but other situations that try to tear them down as well. Come along for the ride as we see if being married to a savage is all that is cracked up to be. Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to the show. So, we are here for part two of the In Love with a New Orleans Savage. So, this is Married to a New Orleans Savage. Um, so, let's just jump right in. Like I said, all of the couples were married, they had babies. Um, with Karlos and Kylee, with in this book anyway, there's not any real conflict with them. It's just like she's basically married the whole book. He's catering to her, giving her whatever she asks for. I think there's just like one point where she tries to go work out, which is actually good for a pregnant woman, but because he doesn't know that or think her doing anything is gonna hurt the baby, he shows up and like shows out at the gym, and that's pretty much it. Um, let's see. So we have Kevin and Kimmora. So their thing, Kimmora, she was a registered nurse. Um, and with her being a registered nurse, her and Kira, no, not Kira. Was it Kira? One of the sisters. Um, no, that's not her. I'm getting confused. I'm sorry, because there's so many of them. Um, yeah, Kimmora, she was a registered nurse. Sorry. Um, and she like her old boyfriend was also working at the hospital. Supposedly he went to like Africa, and it was just like they had lost touch with each other. Um, but he pops back up, wanting to be her quote unquote friend and make his way back into her life. But of course, these are the Royals. They're not having that. So one day, like the first day she saw him and they shared like a brief hug, she goes home and Kevin is upset. He's like, "Why do you smell like another man? Like, what is that cologne that you have on?" And she's like, I briefly hugged him. It was nothing. Oh, excuse me. I am so sorry. And so he makes her take off all her clothes, and like she hugged the baby. He strips the baby, takes off all of his stuff, and makes her travel down to the furnace that they have in their house naked and tells her to burn that. And I'm just like, she has to burn, but I'm like, they're crazy. This is how obsessive they are. Um, and so he tells her, I don't want you talking to him. You shouldn't have no type of communication with him whatsoever. And she agrees. And she's like, I just hadn't seen him in a long time. He sat down at the table with me and basically like welcomed himself to the table. And that's all it was. And he's like, I don't want to hear that. Don't have no contact with him whatsoever. So, but there's someone that he knows that works at the hospital as well. And I guess reports back to him when they see them together. So, which I don't understand because it's like he has the girl is his quote unquote home girl, but then he's also homophobic. He's like my dyke ass home girl, and it's just like, wait, what? Excuse me, this is your friend, and you're talking about her this way. So that was their only like thing. So, oh no, I forgot. Uh, Christy. Chrissy was claiming to be pregnant, but it was actually like a setup for, like, she was trying to set Kevin up. And so he ends up killing Christy, like getting rid of her after the fact. And Christy mama pops back up and she shows up to the hospital like, I know that you and that boy had something to do with my daughter disappearing, and I'm gonna make you guys pay for it. Um So she shows up to the hospital, like Kimmora is attacked at the hospital, and then like she's still seeing Tyler, so they have to figure out that situation and get rid of them. So one night Kevin like followed Tyler home and was like, don't talk to my wife no more. You have nothing to say to her, and if I find out that you've been talking to her, like basically I'm gonna beat your ass. And Tyler's like, she'll always be my Kim. So, of course that drove Kevin into a rage. He not having that. So he whooped his ass. But with him being out late, when he comes home, the house is like completely dark. So he's like, man, I wish she would not be here with my son. But when he looks in the garage, he sees her car. So he knows that she's there. But when he walks into the house, he has to damn near like fight off a baseball bat because she's swinging at him like, where have you been? You not here, so where have you been? And he's like, I had to go see your little boyfriend because she thought that he was out cheating. She's like, you don't ever be out late like this and you're not answering your phone. Like, where you been at? Um, so they get that all established and cleared away. He kills Chrissy's mama, and that's a done deal. She ain't gonna bother them no more. Uh let's see, who is it? Kelly and Calvin? Is it Kelly and Calvin? Let me look at my notes, y'all. I swear I told y'all all these K's being put together. Kelly and Kaylin, excuse me. um Kelly, they're engaged. They did not get married and she was not pregnant. So throughout the whole book, their thing was she wasn't ready. Like, she wanted to be married, that wasn't the problem, but the fact that their mom died giving birth to them, she's scared to deliver a baby. It's like everybody else got pregnant, had the baby, had their babies, no problem. But and I get the point. It's just like she had Kylie, no problem. She had Kimmora, no problem. But think about it. So she got to us and basically like in her mind, it's like we were the problem. So it's just like, okay, all of y'all could give birth, no problem. It'll be just my luck when I get pregnant, I die giving birth to my baby. And that's scary to think about. Like, of course, mothers, if they did get pregnant, it would be like, save my baby, don't worry about me. But then it's also like, damn, do I really want to die while giving birth? And the answer is no. Um, so But also, we find out that Kaylin is not their cousin. He is actually their brother. So when he finds that out, of course, that messes up the dynamic of their family and of their group that they have going on. So he goes out drinking. He's been getting drunk lately, not really talking to anybody, and Kelly has been worried for him. And when she finds him, he's in the back. Is it the back seat? No, he's in the front seat having sex with that same girl that she had caught him at the mall with. And she's like, so this is what you do when I finally find out that I'm pregnant. You're in the car with this bitch. And she was like, don't even worry about it. I'm not even having this baby. And that's all he ever wanted. And with him finding out that his cousins were his brothers, he had also said like some crazy shit to her too while he was in his feelings. So their relationship was rocky, and then he goes and cheats. So, she's done with him. She don't want to talk to him. It's over and done with for them. Uh until the end of the book. He gets Kira to help him get Kelly to show up at this house because she's like, they were that's where I messed up at. I thought Kimmora was the two twins. The two twins are braiders and wanted to open up their own like hair salon where they braid hair. And earlier in the book, that was a problem with Kaylin and Kelly because he's like, there's no way in hell you're doing that. You're not braiding a man's hair. He's gonna want excuse me to sitting in your chair and basically be close to you, and just a whole bunch of other bullshit where Kevin with the barbershop, he's like, that doesn't make sense. That's money and they're good at what they do. Like, you got to be a little secure in your relationship where you trust your woman and know she's not going to do anything crazy. Um, but they had got over that. He's like, I support you and I'll do whatever you want, and that's no problem. So with Kira, Calvin had been starting to like a girl that worked in Kevin's barbershop, and it was really like she was the homie base, but she was also a girl, so there was an attraction there, and he was starting to pull away from his relationship. Like, he's not talking to Kira how he used to. His phone stays in his hand like 24/7. So of course she's noticing the change. Like, what's up with you? Are you cheating on me? Like, what is it? And of course, typical man, he tried to treat her like she crazy, like, you don't know what you're talking about. It's nothing like that. And she's like, nigga, I can't even get you to put your phone down and have a regular conversation no more. You just steady smiling at your phone. And at one point, one of the sisters had came to the barbershop and saw him like playing around with the girl, like they having a spray bottle fight, just being real cute with each other. And she makes a statement like, he's married, right? And the girl was like, yeah, of course, no problem. Oh shit, how could I forget? Sorry, with Karlos and Carly, the guy that she used to date pops back up, and he's obsessed with her. He's been obsessed with her. He pays this girl to excuse me, do everything the way that Kylie does. Like, she has to dress like her, go to school and take the classes that she's taking, read books the way she likes to read books. Like, he literally pays $15,000 a month for her to act just like Kylie. And supposedly she looks just like her too. Like, even without surgery or anything like that, she looks just like this woman. So it wasn't really hard to get her to be her, basically. Um, and at some point, like, Karlos sees her, but he knows that Kylie was like at home. And he went home and told her, like, if I was crazy, I would have snatched you up at the store thinking that you were with that guy, but I know that's not you. And plus, my heart wasn't pounding like when I saw her, so I know it wasn't actually you. And I wasn't attracted to her, but she looked just like you. And I was just like, I can get that. And the guy ends up kidnapping. I don't know how, I forgot this, but yeah, he ends up kidnapping her and like drugging her and taking the baby. But of course, they get her back and they kill the guy. Um, but back to Calvin and Kira. So she what was it? They all went out to the club one night, and the girl comes and introduces herself, but she's giving Kira like the stank eye and like being rude low key. But you could tell she just came over to basically check her out, like, oh, this the wife or whatever. But I forgot, like, I'm drawing a blank on her name. But anyway, come to find out that she was actually the Kylie's ex sister, but she never met the sister. I met any of his family because they lived in a different state, and he didn't talk about them, so she wouldn't have known that that was his sister anyway. Um, but when Kira found out that Calvin invited the girl out onto a date, so she shows up And she's like, this is what you wanted, right? She was like, you didn't think that I would call the phone company and print out the hundreds of text messages that you've been having back and forth with this girl. Because I'm like, this is what you wanted, right? You basically wanted a homeboy that you could fuck because y'all could talk about sports and just talk about all this other shit that you would talk about with your brothers that I guess you feel like you can't talk about with me or we don't talk about. So she tells him like, that bitch is in the bathroom bleeding because I just whooped her ass, and don't come home because the moment you step into that door, I will shoot you. So wherever you're gonna stay at, stay there. And so they go like, I swear, I feel like it's housewives because every year they have to have like an annual trip or some shit. Um, and they had like when Kimmora had got beat up by Chrissy's mama for her feeling like she had something to do with her daughter's death, they decided to go, I believe it was Colorado, for her to get some little R&R, but the whole family went. So there they quote unquote rekindle their relationship by him telling her, don't be mad at me. I love you. I will never do anything like that again. Like, I learned my lesson, basically, whatever, because he didn't really cheat on her. And that just, it is what it is. So they're together, they're happy, whoop de whoop, whatever. Everybody's businesses and relationships are thriving. Karlos opens up a gym, and they had a baby girl, which they named Kylee, which kind of threw me off because the way Kylie spells her name is Kyle, and they spelled the baby name Kaylee. So I'm just like, I pronounce it differently, but you will almost think that it's the same. But anyway, that was the end of this. I really could have put it in with the first like last week episode, but I'm trying to make shorter episodes because I see that people actually listen when the episodes are shorter. So yeah, that's what I'm going with. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you back next week, where I believe the book is gonna be Siobhan's Boss Chicks. And I'm also moving to 2 episodes a week too. So hopefully that will also get like more people willing to listen to my show and listen to my episodes. Fingers crossed. So peace and blessings, my beautiful people. Bye.